And we're back. What's up, everybody? Benja Welldone coming at you live on this beautiful December the 29th at 8:58 in the morning. Whoosh. How are you doing? So, here's the thing. Megan versus Chucky. If you're unfamiliar or unaware, there's this new film called Megan, where basically it's a knockoff of a unsuccessful film before that, which was called Chucky. There were multiple Chucky films, but he was always the least scary of all the dolls. There's something called Puppet Master, Blade. He was a good one. Brahms, The Boy, Annabelle. Amazing. The key element to all doll films is you gotta have possession. If you really want to kill Megan, all you have to do is just don't plug her in. Just let her battery go bad. Okay? I'm more likely to believe that a doll will be possessed and going on a murdering rampage before I'm going to believe that there's a doll that has a battery that doesn't ever go bad. It's that simple. It's stupid. Okay? Now, out of all of the dolls, what's interesting, or lack thereof, whatever, is that Chucky was the only actual doll that talked. It was probably the scariest thing about him. He wasn't ever scary. He was just creepy. But it was an interesting backstory because Chucky is basically a murderer who was an actual guy, and he like put his possession, like some spell, into this doll, and then as he was running away from the police like shot him, and they didn't really kill him, but he transferred his essence into that doll. So they're like, oh, we killed the bad guy. He was such a bad guy, but he survived and he was in this doll, and he continued to carry out through the years. Something else that I don't like about this new Megan film is the fact that I feel like they're doing that whole thing that they're doing nowadays where they're replacing a male lead with a female lead. They're you can tell in the eyes, it's Chucky. I'm telling you, it's Chucky. 110%. It's just a female Chucky. It looks almost exactly alike, but you can tell it's in the eyes. I think that the best part of all horror films is not having a strong male lead. It's having a strong female lead. But when the female is supposed to, perfect example, nobody wants to see or believes that a 110-pound woman is going to go down a stairwell in an action film and single-handedly beat up savagely multiple 250-pound guys on the way to a bottom while she's trying to run out the door. This whole thing about women overpowering guys, if it's jujitsu, that's different. But this whole hand-to-hand combat stuff, if there's a guy that looks like he's a linebacker and he has no skill in fighting at all, and he just tackles a 110-pound lady, she's going to the ground. Plain and simple. This whole thing, let me back up. You can have a strong lead in a female lead in a horror film, and they make the best. But it's not because of their strength. It's because of their vulnerability of not being as strong or as fast. And it's stimulating. And they have to, to see someone on the back nine, on the edge of defeat for 90 minutes straight, and to see them at every turn, they're just at a grasp, okay, is a lot more stimulating and entertaining and attractive as opposed to seeing a guy who's just jacked up, super, super strong, and walking around with a shotgun trying to fight off this bad guy. It's just, the scales are supposed to be uneven, which makes it entertaining. It makes you want to keep watching every single second of it, but you can also have a strong female lead who is an ass kicker, but she's got to have like guns and weapons and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Think about Alien number 1. That's the baddest ass film ever out of all films. She's like number 1 hardcore badass girl. And at no point did some guy come to like rescue her or something like that. No. Girls can kick ass all on its own, but put it in a premise that it actually makes sense. Either make them vulnerable and make them smart and they edge out the bad guy, or give them enough guns or supplies to where they can really just kick ass. I think that women are the best when it comes to leads in horror films, and I also feel like if it's done right with weapons and stuff to give an advantage, I can believe that too. But as far as Megan versus Chucky goes, Chucky was dumb to begin with, but he still has the edge. Don't see Megan. Take a history lesson and watch Chucky. It's still not good. Okay. But, at least he's pretty creepy. His voice is like the creepiest voice possibly ever. So anyway, with that being mentioned, I can give a lot more examples of dolls and their creepiness or whatever, but I'll let it be. And for that being mentioned, I'm Benja Welldone. Check me out. Peace.